Well, I am State Senator P.K.Matin. I represent the 9th Senate District here in the Georgia Legislature. And I've served in the Georgia Senate for 5 sessions now, almost 5 complete years. And this is my 3rd term. My district is comprised of areas that include, in addition to Snellville, Grayson, Lawrenceville, Lilburn, and Decula.
Okay, thank you. And then tell us about the Korean trip. When did it set up, and then how can you connect to the Korean government, and then?
Yeah, so I have a trip coming to Korea in the next week. I'm very excited to make my first visit to Asia, and I'm very excited for my first visit to Korea. I think that's very exciting. I've had a relationship with a few Korean organizations. I think being in Gwinnett County, Korea makes up such an important part of the fabric of Gwinnett County. So I'm excited to go and learn more about the Korean people, about Korean customs, culture, and also to build that relationship with the South Korean government as well.
What would you like to do in Korea the most? What's your biggest interest there?
I think my biggest interest is
like the food.
The food, of course. Yeah, the food, always the food.
I knew it. Right.
Yeah, I actually participated in a Korean cooking competition last year, and I think that I would have won, but I did not participate in the actual prizes because I didn't think that would be fair. I'm just kidding. I don't think I would have won, but I really enjoyed that very much. So I'm very excited about the food, but I'm also excited about visiting with Kia and with SK Innovations. They're two wonderful companies that are invested heavily in Georgia, and hoping to build that relationship and that friendship between Georgia and South Korea and the companies there.
So could you be more specific for how you did get invited to South Korea?
Yeah, I was invited by the Consul General. He set up the trip. Through and I've had a relationship with his predecessor and now with Consul General Kim, for the last few years.
So speaking of just like a grant team, were you also just invited by them to Japan as well, like an invitation from them?
I was not invited to.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Good.
So do you have any specific plans in South Korea, or?
Yeah, we have there definitely are plans to go. We will be meeting with the I was trying to pull that up on my computer, but we're meeting with the Ministry for Foreign Affairs North American, the director there. We're also meeting with the mayor of Gangnam-gu province. As well, they have a sisterhood relationship with Gwinnett County, so I'm very excited about that meeting. We'll be doing some sightseeing. We're doing a cooking class while we're there. They set that up for the weekend, which is exciting. We'll be visiting the DMZ as well, along with visits with SK Innovation and Kia.
How do you think just your trip in Korea will just help grow the relationship between the two countries?
I personally think we should always be building bridges. That's the way I like to live my life. I think whether it's this will be the first time building international relationships, so to speak. But I think that it's very important to build those bridges as we move along, and I want to continue to build on the friendship that's already there. South Korea and the United States and Georgia have excellent relations over the years, and I just hope to be able to continue that.
Are you going to visit any just public schools in Korea? Public schools in person?
I don't think that's on the agenda.
Okay, good.
No.
I heard we have a good relationship with Brian Kemp, Governor Kemp.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine.
He knows that you will come to Korea?
Yes, he knows. I've communicated with his office. They know that I'm going.
What
and they communicated with me that this is, Korea, South Korea, it's such an important relationship to the state of Georgia.
What did he say?
I mean, he didn't say it, but I heard it from one of his staff members. Said they were excited because their first international trip that they took was to South Korea, and they did that on purpose. That was very purposeful because they see South Korea as our number one trade partner, international trade partner.
Is this your first international trip as well, or?
It's my first international trip in an official manner. Yes, I've traveled pretty extensively in Europe.
A lot of people, the Korean people living in your, the district now.
Yeah, in Gwinnett County.
Gwinnett County.
Yes.
Yeah, they very interested in education and everything.
Mhm.
So you're the chairman of the.
I am chairman of Education and Youth Committee in the Georgia Senate. Yes, that's correct.
What do you think about the Korean parents and their?
I love Korean parents. No, I took on that job. I was offered that chairmanship, and I took that on because education is important to me. I have children in 9th grade and 7th grade. Excuse me. And so to me, education is very important, and I'm at that time of my life where particularly that K-12 education is really key. And I'm excited about working with parents, with teachers, with school administrators, and with the school districts to try to help make sure that students have better and better opportunity. And hopefully I've done that in my first year as chairman, and I look forward again next year to continuing that.
There are the dual immersion, the language program around here, specifically in Gwinnett County. The Suwannee Parsons Elementary School have a Korean dual language immersion program right now.
So they already have it, right?
They already
yeah.
have it. They
Good.
started this semester.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But what do you think about that? Those kind of language education.
I wished I had participated in an immersion program as a child. My wife participated in a German exchange program when she was in high school, and she speaks German very well. She's conversational, and that's really opened a lot of doors for her. And I think it's excellent to have those opportunities for Gwinnett students. I believe they have a Spanish immersion program as well, and I'm not sure of the others, but I'm excited to hear they have a Korean immersion program. I think that's excellent. I support that fully.
Well, actually, you're well known for the fact that you have a deep relationship with the Korean community. But as you know, there is a tension between Japan and Korea. So how are you going to work upon your Japanese voters or your constituents?
I think Japan and Korea, I think they're definitely both friends and allies of the United States. I think sometimes it's hard when you're in between two people with their tensions. I want to make sure that I don't want to create any additional tensions. So I want to make sure, hopefully I can build bridges and bring people together, and we can continue to work on that, whether it's the U.S. government, the state of Georgia, or even in my capacity. I would love to try to help bridge that gap, if I'm even capable of doing that. But I would love to try to bring my friends back together, or maybe bring them together for the first time.
Well, some of the Koreans just boycott Japanese products or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you think about that? It's kind of like a delicate word, yeah.
It's
In a
delicate.
sensitive
It's
way.
difficult,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to obviously take sides, because I do have friends who are Japanese and I have friends who are Korean.
Do you go to Korean markets or Japan?
Yes, I go to Korean markets. We
Okay.
go to Super H Mart all the time. We do a lot of shopping at Super
How
H.
about Japanese market?
I don't know that. I don't know.
I
don't know.
Like Korea. Yeah. Good. Good.
But I do like Japanese food as well. So it's
Okay. Sushi.
yeah, of course. Yes, of course.
Me
Yes, of
here.
course. You too.
Okay. Good. Let's go. Good.
Yeah.
What do you think is most important education issue right now in Georgia? Common Core, a lot of the educational issue here.
Well, I think Common Core is gonna be again a big issue. I believe in local control. I believe that local communities should determine the way that our students are taught, and I think they really. And I think Gwinnett County has really taken hold of that, and they do an excellent job for our students, which I think is why Gwinnett County is so attractive to people from all over. I think I look forward to working with the governor as we move forward, looking at the standards. In the state legislature, we don't set educational standards. That's not our role. But any way that I can assist the Board of Education, the State Board, the Department of Education, I want to be there for them and help and assist in that process. Yeah.
How do you think about the overall educational, the achievement?
Well, achievement in Georgia is continuing to be on the rise. We're continuing to move up, and that's exciting. We took on a couple of issues this past session dealing with dyslexia for our young readers to hopefully help improve our literacy rates. I'm excited about that. We also put in new requirements in the legislative session, a bill that would require computer science to be taught in every high school in Georgia. Included in that is funding and investment in helping with teacher development to help, because that's the big issue, is finding teachers that can teach the computer science curriculum for a lot of school districts. We're very blessed in Gwinnett to have a lot of teachers and have qualified teachers, but that's not the case all over Georgia. But I think that's really going to help us meet the demands of the 21st century economy as we move forward, and we have to be there if we're going to continue to be competitive.
You raised, the teacher salary recently.
Of course, it's very important.
Yeah. Do you have any plan to re-raise?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have to get, the biggest complaint we hear from teachers, there's a number of complaints, but one complaint we hear from administrators as they're trying to hire teachers is that they can make so much more in the private sector, particularly when you're looking at STEM type teachers who are teaching mathematics, teaching computer science. You can go get a job in the tech world for much more money than you can make teaching. So I think we have to make sure that those salaries are competitive if we're going to continue to draw good teachers. There are some people that will do it for a big pay cut, but there are a lot of teachers who, just because of the realities of life, have to take the money sometimes, and so we have to make sure that those salaries are competitive.
Did you hear about the news that a cargo ship was capsized in
Of course.
St.
Simon's,
on
yeah,
in
the same
Brunswick. So they are going to just go back to Korea after they were recovered. Would you deliver some message for them to comfort them?
You already,
Yeah,
they will get soon. They will get well soon. So
I was very pleased, and I was monitoring it very closely, the situation. I'm very excited that they were rescued. We had on my Facebook page, on my social media, I posted it, and we kind of had a running feed, or what do you call that when anyway, I think you may have followed it. You may have followed it. And I was actually receiving updates from the Department of Natural Resources who were down there, and they were watching that. So I was getting some things maybe a little before the news was released, and they told me I couldn't tell anybody. So I had to be quiet and wait for the Coast Guard to release it. But I was very excited to see that everyone was rescued. And I do hope that they will, I wish them very quick recovery. And I wish safe travels back to Korea, and hopefully you can stay and enjoy some of the hospitality here in Georgia for a short time. So our prayers have been lifted up for you, and I'm glad they were answered.
How excited are you right now go to Korea? One number out of 10.
10, absolutely. 10. If I can go to 11, I would say 11. I'm very excited. The difficult part is I'm going to be gone for a week, so I have to figure out how to get all my work done before I go. And so I am excited. I think it's going to be an excellent trip. And I've already had a lot of people tell me how you have to, the proper way to get your sleep on the trip over to try to help beat the jet lag. So
your trip, the designation is very selective, because there are the 12 or 13 consul general in the United States, only 3 or 4 state, the politician will be selected, but you're selected from Korean government. Why do you think they select you?
I don't know. It's a huge honor. I do. I mean that seriously. It's a huge honor. Why I was selected over other people. I think the last person that was selected for this trip in Georgia was Stacey Abrams.
Yes.
So it is a big honor to be selected. And, I'm not sure why necessarily I was chosen out of so many other people that would be very qualified to go. But I plan to treat it with the most respect I possibly can and learn as much as I possibly can while I'm there, and I look forward to the opportunity.
I'll let you know a secret, because Korean government think you're going to be a governor. Seriously.
Okay. Well,
seriously.
We'll see about.
They select Stacey Abrams.
We'll see about that.
Tell us about your ambition as a politician.
I've always taken it when it comes to politics. I was asked to get into politics. It wasn't something that I sought out initially. So I take every position that I've had in politics. I take it as it comes, and I try to do as good a job as I possibly can. Am I looking at future opportunities? I think possibly, but I don't think you can ever. I think you can be prepared for those opportunities. but I don't know. I think it's difficult to try to chart your path and really. I wouldn't say I'm being like I have a certain path and I have a certain goal of where I'm going to go. If it comes available and if I'm meant to take that call to the next level, then I'll have to think about it, pray about it, and possibly take that on. But yeah, right now my focus is completely on District 9 in the Georgia Senate and doing the best job for my constituents. If I start thinking of other things, I'll lose focus and I'll mess up what I'm doing right now.
When do you just feel rewarded as a politician?
Say that again?
When do you feel rewarded, like valuable as just a politician?
They don't pay any big salary.
No, no. It's not from the paycheck.
That's not, okay.
It's not from the paycheck.
Okay.
I think it's the thing that I enjoy the most is helping people, helping constituents. There are times where we do pass laws that are important, and I think you do feel rewarded when you get a big initiative passed. But also when you help somebody with their tax return and get their income tax, or help someone with their driver's license, I think that's also very rewarding as well.
Is there anything to say about Korean community?
I mean, what I would say is I do think, and I believe this 100%. The Korean people make up a very valuable piece of Gwinnett County. They are a part of the fabric. We have a quilt that's made up of many nations, many people, many languages, and the Korean people are a very important part of that. And I think they help make Gwinnett what it is, which is a great place to live.
Something comes to my mind. Okay, so how did you just get to be close to the Korean community, to Korean people? How did you get to know them or something like that?
It's kind of funny. I had there was an event that then Senator Schaefer could not make it to. And it was with the Vietnamese, the Korean Vietnamese War Veterans Association.
Yes.
And so I went to that, participated in that, and they were very, very kind. And then they reached out to me to come to the Capitol, so I hosted them at the Capitol. And then I got to know, I have a good friend of mine, Andy Kim, who I've gotten to know very well, and we had and then we also had a resolution for the Olympics. So I just think through those actions, I've just become more and more involved in the community, and I've enjoyed it. I really do. I enjoy it.
Are you going to accept, any invitations by the Japanese government in the future? No?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
That's the answer.
Not this year,
Okay.
because I'm booked.